business. It's why we're here, and it's what we enjoy doing. So let's take a look at the business aspect of our online portfolio that we're building. I'm going to go through this very fast and give you a complete rundown of some very important business resources that you should take advantage of. Up until this point, what we've covered is pretty much free, the social networking and all of that. Now you're getting into some aspects that are going to be beneficial for your career. Things like setting up a GoDaddy account and buying a URL of your business name, your name, getting a URL and some web hosting. Also, WordPress, great plugin, goes hand in hand with GoDaddy. It's for building websites. You're going to want a website to display all your stuff and a personal website with your name and a new email address, your name at your website. Salesforce, it's great software if you're running a team, if you're looking to get leads for sales and manage those leads and email campaigns and everything else. Salesforce, the way to go. Skype. I keep mine on 24/7. It's a great way for people to get in touch with me and conduct business with me all the time. And it has video, chat, file transfer, and it's all in real time. So that's a perfect communication tool. LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is it's a social networking site, but it is geared specifically towards business, and I really like LinkedIn because there's job opportunities. There's a lot of companies that are openly posting jobs and everything else, so I would check out LinkedIn, set yourself up an account, and start networking. One of the most important sites ever is called Upwork. It used to be called Odesk, and there was some other big major freelancing websites that merged into Upwork. Upwork.com. Write that down, take note, go to it. Set up a profile, set up a portfolio. Not only can you be hired for the jobs you're good at, but you can also hire other people that are in the high-tech industry. You could work for teams. There's so much going on there. I love Upwork. That's what I'm going to say about that. And PayPal, a perfect payment method for worldwide sales, safe, secure. You can get paid and people don't even need a PayPal account to pay you. It is the way to go. I've been using it for years, and I highly recommend PayPal. Now, I realize at this point I sort of sound like a commercial for all these companies, but this has worked for me. I respect these companies. They're good. They've done me justice, and I really like working with them. So you might have alternatives, which is fine, Bluehost instead of GoDaddy, Joomla instead of WordPress, MSN Chat instead of Skype. But these are just some examples of what I use, and especially when it comes to getting work, Upwork is by far number one. Now, as you can see from the last time we saw our logo for our business profile, it was a little different. And I've gone to work and designed it out like this ahead of you, because we really couldn't do this in 15 minutes. But I will break this logo apart and show you exactly what I've done so you have an idea. Okay, so I'm going to ungroup this and show you all the components that make up what I've done here. And there's not a lot to it. What I've done is I've turned the text into objects by designing it with the pen tool, and each letter and each section of each letter is an object. This is all vector based once again, so we're able to scale. We have our boxes that I turned blue. I've used a couple lines, and then we've gone with the MyRad Pro graphic design company text underneath. And I'm serving this up on a white background. You can tell with the text here, I've had it hang over the blue boxes covering it to get that sort of shape. Now, is this something we can use? Are we going to be able to compete with the big boys? I don't know. Let's have a look and put that to the test, shall we? Okay. Now here we have our new online portfolio business logo ready to go. And what this is going to allow us to do is we can use this as watermarks for our designs. And here I have a design to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Is if I take our logo and I put it up above the design, then I'm able to take that and watermark it onto the page. Now, in order to watermark it, I'm going to reduce its opacity. So I bring its opacity down, and then you can see that my graphic is still completely visible, yet it's watermarked. And when I export that out in some way, it's obviously going to never leave that. And I can include more within that logo too, which maybe I'll just bring the opacity down slightly more so it's almost not visible at all. Perfect for watermarking. And aside from cups, t-shirts, and pencils, well, the sky's the limit at this point. So, with your new logo, we're going to go right into branding everything we can when it comes to your online portfolio. And other things we're able to do with our new company branding? Well, we can include that in our correspondence and email, along with letterheads. Now let's head on over to our social media page, and we can see the update with our new company logo. And that looks really nice. Now if we head back into Adobe Illustrator, we're going to go through the logo a little more and maybe just do some modifications to see what we can do with it and how we can change it a little bit if we want. Now we're going to want to ungroup it, and then we can take out all the elements and separate things. And you can see we have each element here separated into an individual object that I've just used the pen tool to accomplish. And we can accomplish that mix because we're using a white background. So that does it for us. Now we'll take a look at the text that I've designed here. And you can spend hours and hours doing this and doing it perfectly. But I was just able to create it and design it the way I wanted, once again using the pen tool. And what I like about that is it's unique and it's original, and it's maybe not all that fantastic, but if I spent more time on that, I could definitely get it perfect. And I think for now it's going to do the job. What I also really like about logos, this is a fairly big size to be displaying one, but if you reduce that by at least half, you can tell your logo gets cooler and cooler looking. And I think maybe we can even turn one into an icon and see what that does for us. Now I'm really liking that size. I'm thinking, is there anything I can do to enhance this design anymore? I don't know. Maybe if we put some little windows into our design, that might work. And we won't overdo it, but we will we'll put a few in and see where that takes us. Because these are buildings. I think I'm just going to use the arrow key to put some of these into place here. Can maybe even consider resizing these a little bit. And if I want to know my properties on that, or if I even want to work in a little closer, then just zoom back into my design and zoom right into it. And then I have a better look of what's going on here, like so. And I guess just the copy paste a few of these in different areas of the building. And then we'll stand back, take a look. That might just do it for us. I want to go in and maybe resize these a little bit. Put some different sizes. And put those out everywhere. And things are going to snap into place. You see, I've got all my grids lined up. Makes things easier for alignment where you'd want to put them. Okay, so we don't want to saturate this too much. Just enough that it gives the idea of windows. Oh look, placed it there, might as well leave it. Let's go back to maybe a 60. And yeah, that's kind of doing it for us. Move some of these up and around. Actually, maybe it'd be best to align that one with its friend there. Doesn't need to be centered. That's kind of good. Take that and we group it. Now, are there other things I might want to do to this? I don't know. Let's experiment. Let's see. That's what we're doing. This is the final phase of our company branding portfolio, graphic design company logo. So, well, I love drop shadow. I'm going to add it just to see, because I just love it. It makes things pop. It gives things a third dimension. Even if I don't like this drop shadow, yeah, that's kind of a blur. I want to ungroup my elements to take advantage of a drop shadow. Just going to remove it all as soon as I ungroup it. Take all that off. I want to go into the layers. Look at all the layers that make up this logo. So pretty much if I take that out of the way, we still have that down there. So I'm going to undo it, put it back, and I'm just going to isolate those buildings and stick a drop shadow on that. and maybe try to keep it away from the text. That line I've noticed before has a shadow on it, which I'm just going to cut out that line. Just want to isolate the buildings here. You can see, and they're grouped, so I select them. I go to Effect, and under here Stylize, Drop Shadow, and then I can control it here. I like a lot of blur. Kind of like to turn things up. I notice with Illustrator their default is somewhat a little fuzzy, or not as dark, but we just go okay, give that a look. And I think I've stuck a gray on there. That's okay. Maybe I can give that one more try, because I know I stick a darker color on there, we can get it to pop. And it doesn't hurt to experiment. And the more time you spend on your designs, the better they'll become, obviously. And with this, I'd like to take it all the way and spend a lot of time on it to see where it can go. And maybe I'll even do that, but for now we want a great working example. So we're going to make that drop shadow a little darker. Put that back down onto there. There. That's not too bad. It's kind of nice. Maybe we can redesign some of these lines a bit. Let's bring some lines out. Sort of like it's, like a design board. We can redo that line. Do we want to add more lines? Do we want to take some lines away? You know what? I think that's kind of good. And I think we're going to leave it like that. So, giving us a good working example of our new portfolio logo. And I'm Brad Surgison. It was my pleasure showing you through these steps and getting you set up in a position where you're able to go out and start making a name for yourself and getting lots of contracts, doing lots of logos, design work, and all the best with that.